Chosen one, if you found yourself drawn to this video at this precise moment, it wasn't a random click drifting through your day. It was a pull, a signal, a quiet summoning that rose from places your senses haven't fully learned to perceive. Because while you slept last night, while you moved through today believing your steps were invisible, while you lived as if no greater attention existed, presences far beyond the physical realm were gathering in an urgent, deliberate council, and the focus of their discussion was you. The choice they made is about to redirect the entire path of your existence. Congratulations, you have crossed one of the hardest thresholds a human soul can encounter. You completed an evaluation that stretched across years, woven into your daily experiences without your awareness. A test the vast majority of humanity fails, an examination where 98% collapse without ever knowing it was happening. But you accomplished something those higher authorities judged as extraordinary, rare, worthy of direct intervention. And when you discover what this test truly was, the very trial you overcame without realizing you were being measured, when you understand why your actions disrupted their own protocols so deeply that they chose to speak to you personally, you will finally see that your entire life was structured like a hidden assessment. Every hardship was a crafted question. Every interruption was a controlled scenario. Every pain was a circumstance, designed precisely to determine whether you carried what they needed to find, and you did. That is why the silence has ended. That is why this revelation was permitted. That is why you are hearing these words. Now, instead of being pushed through more secret examinations for decades, subscribe to this channel immediately and activate every notification. Because this authorized communication, sent to awakened souls, is routinely suppressed by forces that benefit from keeping you unaware of your true cosmic identity. But before I disclose what these authorities have declared about you, I need you to show that you are prepared for this reality. Type 77 in the comments if you recognize that your past experiences often felt like ordinary struggles hiding deeper spiritual tests. Now let me explain the exact nature of the trial you passed. And when you understand the sophistication of what was interwoven into your life, you will be stunned by the intelligence of these beings. They were not evaluating whether you could appear flawless. Anyone can pretend perfection when they believe they're being watched. They were searching for something far more uncommon, your ability to remain sincere, aligned, and incorruptible when no eyes were on you. They placed you in situations where lying would have brought you benefits with zero risk, and still you chose honesty. They placed you before moments where harming someone vulnerable would have gone unnoticed, and still you chose compassion. They positioned you in front of opportunities to rise by stepping on others, and still you refused to betray your own spirit. Do you know why this is so rare? Because almost everyone fails when they assume they are unobserved. They loosen their ethics, bend their values, make exceptions that erode their own integrity. But you remained consistent. You were the same soul in the dark as you were in the light. They watched you in anger and saw you refuse vengeance. They watched you in scarcity and saw you reject immoral shortcuts. They watched you in disappointment and saw you protect the innocent instead of projecting your pain onto them. Each moment was recorded. Every moral choice counted. Every act of integrity logged within their archives, until a single conclusion emerged. You deserve elevation into a higher category of existence. A category where tests end. A category where assistance flows instead of obstacles. Now let me clarify who these authorities truly are. The ones who have observed you across years and decided you are worthy of official acknowledgement. I'm speaking of intelligences dwelling in dimensions that surpass human understanding, beings whose purpose is to identify the human, souls who develop qualities so rare they must receive distinct guidance and attention. They have no interest in what religion you follow or what specific doctrines you claim to believe. What they examine is the quality of your spirit. What they measure is your integrity. What they study is the harmony between the ideals you speak about and the actions you actually take. And the reason they do this is simple. They are searching for human beings who can serve as instruments of positive evolution. Souls who do not require constant observation in order to choose what is right. For years, they placed you inside situations that grew more complex over time. They began with subtle challenges and then increased the intensity. They guided you into moments where staying true to your principles cost you money, where choosing honesty brought you tension and conflict. And at every stage, you succeeded. You walked the harder road because you sensed it was the righteous one. That was the moment they became certain. You act with sincerity because you forged real integrity within yourself, because you evolved into someone genuinely good. That is why they decided it was time to stop testing you and begin supporting you. That is why your status shifted from a candidate under examination to a recognized and approved agent. Now let me share exactly what these authorities declared about you during the gathering, where they approved your advancement. First, they spoke of your extraordinary resistance to moral decay under pressure. This means you did not allow adversity to twist you into something bitter or cruel. Instead, you kept your softness even when life tried to harden you. Next, they praised your ethical stability even when no voice was there to observe you. This means you choose correctness without witnesses, without applause, without any reward waiting for you. Then, they acknowledged your ability to sustain hope without falling into foolishness. You did not lose trust in the goodness of people just because you encountered individuals who were harmful. You refused to let disappointment turn you into someone cynical. They also recorded your willingness to give up advantages in order to honor your principles. You chose truth even when deception would have brought you gain. You chose fairness even when injustice would have made your climb easier. And finally, what impressed them most of all was your capacity to forgive without surrendering your power. You release people from your anger, but you do not open the door for them to wound you again. You let go of resentment, yet you do not tolerate disrespect. This combination is so rare that they labeled you an extraordinary example of human moral evolution. And do you know what this signifies? It means you have become a model of what humans are capable of, becoming when their ethical potential is fully awakened. You prove that kindness does not equal weakness, that integrity does not equal rigidity, that compassion does not equal gullibility. Now let me explain how these authorities evaluated you for such a long time without ever exposing their presence. They did not send glowing celestial beings to stand beside you. They crafted events that appeared natural, encounters that exposed who you truly were. Remember the moment when money was scarce and someone approached you with an offer that clashed with your values? That was not coincidence. They arranged that moment to see whether you would stay aligned, even under financial pressure. Remember the time you were emotionally fragile and someone appeared, offering comfort in exchange for something that violated your principles. That was a design challenge. Remember the situation where you gained access to information that could have been used to damage someone? That was a calibrated scenario crafted to see whether you would respect boundaries even when that respect cost you power. And perhaps the most surprising aspect, they used actual people as instruments of the test without those individuals being aware. That destructive presence you encountered did not know. They were being steered by higher forces to expose certain parts of your character. Your entire life became an examination, crafted with such subtlety that you never recognized the pattern. Every difficult personality was an unwitting participant. Every challenge was a question with multiple possible answers. Every moral decision registered itself automatically. And in each of these situations, you selected the harder choice, the honest choice, the choice that revealed who you had become. Do you want to know why so few stand among this tiny group? Why only a rare percentage of humanity completes this immense test successfully? Because most people fall apart the moment a genuine challenge appears. Most hold on to their ethics only when those ethics require no sacrifice. Only when it costs nothing, only when an audience is present to admire, do most people uphold their ethics. But the instant being moral demands sacrifice. The instant doing the right thing brings personal loss. The instant there is no witness and they could escape unobserved. They abandon their own principles. And these cosmic authorities perceive everything. They record every single moment in which a human chooses ease over virtue. From that moment onward, that individual is classified as morally unstable. But you followed a different path. You preserved your integrity even when it demanded sacrifice. You rejected opportunities that would have compromised your values. You chose to endure loss rather than surrender dignity. You demonstrated that your principles are unconditional, that your goodness is inherent, not conditional upon convenience, that you can be entrusted with power because you will never wield it to harm others. And this positions you among an extremely rare moral elite, representing far less than 1% of humanity. But there is more that sets you apart from the majority. You cultivated active integrity. You did not merely avoid wrongdoing. You actively engaged in goodness, even when no one asked, even when no reward was visible. This synthesis of passive and active virtue is so uncommon that the authorities consider each person who develops it a treasure to be protected, nurtured, and celebrated. Now we reach the pivotal moment of this revelation. What precisely did these authorities decide? To officially communicate regarding your new status 3 days ago, during what they refer to as the Approval Assembly, an official record was created in the Cosmic Archives bearing your unique name. And I will read to you exactly what was documented. Human subject classified as exceptional specimen. Following completion of comprehensive evaluation protocol, demonstrated consistent resistance to moral corruption throughout a testing period of 4 years and 8 months. Maintained ethical patterns across 117 situations of progressively increasing pressure. Approved for automatic promotion from the category Candidate under Evaluation to the category Authorized Agent. Authorization granted for removal of artificial obstacles and initiation of Direct Support Protocol. Do you grasp what this signifies? It means that officially, cosmically, your testing phase has concluded. You are now being rewarded. It means the challenges that consistently appeared in your life were never coincidental. They were integral components of the evaluation framework. And now that approval has been granted, those barriers have been commanded to dissipate. This official communication also enacted what they term accelerated positive synchronization. This signifies that events, people, and opportunities will begin aligning in your life in ways that appear almost miraculous. That promotion you have long awaited is now cleared for manifestation. That meaningful relationship you have sought is authorized to emerge. That financial breakthrough designed to resolve your challenges is released to materialize. And the most remarkable aspect, these transformations will seem natural. They will appear as the results of your own efforts because these authorities never intervene in ways that are overt. They simply clear obstacles and cultivate conditions favorable to your path. Now let me explain exactly what practical shifts you will begin to observe in the coming weeks as a direct consequence of this official approval. First, individuals who have been problematic will begin to distance themselves naturally. Your newly elevated energy frequency will no longer resonate with toxicity. Those who drained you through ongoing drama and discord will simply lose interest. Second, financial avenues will start emerging from unexpected directions. Blocked promotions will begin to unlock. Projects that stagnated will attract support. Influential people will recognize your potential and present opportunities. Third, your intuition will sharpen dramatically. You will perceive the benefits and dangers of situations long before they become obvious. Fourth, your mental and physical well-being will improve without drastic lifestyle changes. Chronic stress that has burdened you will begin to dissipate as the sources of tension are systematically removed. Fifth, you will discover your tribe, individuals who share your values and who will elevate your life rather than complicate it. And perhaps the most profound transformation, you will no longer need to live defensively. You will no longer expend energy constantly protecting yourself, because your new cosmic designation includes automatic protection. you will find that decisions arise correctly without effort, that the right people appear at exactly the right moments, that essential resources manifest precisely when required. Your life was once a test, it is now a reward. And I must reassure you of something vital. This approval is irreversible. It is not temporary, nor can it be rescinded by ordinary human errors. These cosmic authorities do not grant approval based on flawless performance. They evaluate demonstrated character, and genuine character, once developed, is permanent. You may have difficult days, make errors, or encounter moments of weakness, but these do not alter the core truth. You have become an integral person by nature. Consider it like learning to drive. Once you truly master the skill, it is never fully forgotten. Occasional mistakes do not erase the proficiency. Your integrity functions in the same manner. You have internalized ethical values so deeply that they operate automatically, even when you are not consciously thinking about them. And there is yet another layer. This approval is not only about you. It concerns the profound, positive influence you are now positioned to bring into the lives of others. These higher forces perceived that you had transformed into a conduit, through which uplifting change quietly spreads across the world. Anyone who shares space with you finds themselves growing, softening, evolving, simply because your presence alters the atmosphere around them. Any situation you enter bends toward balance and clarity. You radiate elevation without effort, and that is why these guardians chose to shield the influence. You now carry and amplify what flows through you. That is why they resolved to dissolve the barriers that once limited the reach of your energy. That is why they released currents and resources, designed to magnify the good you bring into existence. You became a cosmic asset, and what is precious on that scale is always guarded with unwavering dedication. And now we approach the deepest revelation of your new identity. What role is entrusted to you now that your evaluation is complete, and you have been officially recognized as an empowered representative of these invisible overseers? First, understand that this recognition comes with responsibilities, not burdensome duties, not heavy obligations, but natural extensions of the inner strength you cultivated over time. Your first responsibility is to continue embodying integrity in motion. You became living evidence that genuine goodness can thrive even in a world that often rewards choices lacking conscience. Your life now acts as a guiding light for others who struggle to uphold their values. Your second responsibility is to use the doors that will soon open to shape environments with greater harmony. You are not expected to rescue humanity, but simply to let your expanding influence bring improvement wherever you stand. Your third responsibility is to perceive others who are undergoing the same hidden trials you once endured. And when the moment is right, offer the kind of support that eases their solitude. But here lies the truth that matters most. None of this is something you will have to carry on your own. As an authorized agent, you now move with access to assistance that operates outside ordinary perception. Whenever clarity is needed for an important choice, insights will surface in your heightened intuition. Whenever a project serving the greater good requires resources, those resources will materialize from routes you could not have anticipated. Whenever protection is needed from draining or malicious energies, that protection will surround you before danger becomes visible. You have been woven into a much broader cosmic movement, one dedicated to uplifting the moral vibration of humanity. Through individuals who live as conscious examples, every person of integrity who rises proves that ethical values strengthen rather than restrict. Every truly good human who succeeds confirms that power does not require cruelty. And now you will stand among these examples. Your journey will show that integrity brings rewards, that compassion is safeguarded, that those who walk with clean hearts are meant to experience abundance. This is why your approval carried such weight. This is why those forces chose to step outside their usual boundaries to communicate directly with you. Because you became an essential part of a planetary recalibration, and essential elements receive exceptional care. Chosen soul, if you reached this point recognizing the outline of your own path, Then you now understand why your life is entering a phase of profound transformation. You did not simply endure a test. You were accepted into a circle of ethical mastery that lives under the protection and guidance of higher intelligences. Your integrity was examined and affirmed. Your character was observed and deemed extraordinary. Your reliability was proven through years of unseen monitoring. And now you are about to experience what it feels like when life shifts from continual trials to continual support. If this revelation aligns with something you have always sensed beneath the surface of your experiences, if you have recognized the hidden examinations disguised as everyday difficulties, if you finally understand the purpose behind the challenges that shaped you, then you also understand that the blessings arriving now are not random. They are your rightful inheritance. For those who wish to deepen this awakening and activate the techniques that accelerate the manifestation of this cosmic acknowledgement, complete material on connecting with authorized abundance is available for less than the cost of a simple meal, including an audio guide and a 5-minute meditative alignment. The link for access is in the description and in the pinned comment. If you know within yourself that you were truly validated in this universal evaluation and you are ready to move as a recognized agent, write 77 in the comments as affirmation of your new designation. Subscribe and enable all notifications so you can continue receiving messages about how approved individuals function at an elevated frequency of existence. Share this message with someone who deserves to know that they too pass the most meaningful test of their lives, because authorized agents are meant to identify and strengthen one another. And before you depart, choose the video appearing on your screen now to discover how your new classification activates automatic shielding against energies, people, and circumstances that could disrupt your sanctioned peace. United, we rise higher.